the immediate break, which you can get faked out, which you can see here. Or you can wait for it to break, close, and look for a retest, which this actually never came. Um, so that's where it gets tough. But things I like to see is you draw a trend line, you can see that higher lows are being formed. So every time it's breaking down even within this range, it's getting bought up faster and faster, which is a sign to me that this is accumulation forming. On top of the fact, IPX and I have talked about it a few times. This has been happening for months. In these rallies, you will see massive up moves, and then you'll never really get a dip. You just get chopped for a while. And then once it breaks out of the box, it's going for another up move. And you can see it happens again here. Again, the high to the first low, couple fake outs, and then it really breaks out. Granted, this is towards the end of the day, and then this is after hours actually, but it's the same idea. I believe Q's gave a retest.
Yeah, here's also Tesla gave some really good retests on Friday. That's all I took my money on the retest of breaker pre-market high. Here's a chart for you.
Road trend. You could buy the 30 dip. I think it was the 30 dip, wasn't it?
I have no idea. I used 30, but I was just buying. It failed on the 5-minute like 3 times to break out over pre-market high, and then once it did, every retest worked until it decided to go to $900.
Bobby, did you ever look at the hourly on that? That fucking flag was set up so perfect, dude.
Nah, I shouldn't.
Like I was at work whenever I saw it. Like it was so late in the day by the time I saw it, but that was beautiful.
This is a good example of this is the range, the high to the nearest low, and then it starts chopping. Either you buy this break right here, or you can buy the retest, which is didn't come down completely and test it. But and then this happens. I don't know if that makes sense, Arrow.
Trevor's like, this bullshit happens.
Yeah, I mean, they give you a flag here with volume falling off too within it. So when it comes to, you hear someone say, "Be patient, wait for an entry." When this is happening. That's what they mean. It's like you got a 3-bar, massive volume, low volume, mid bar with really no range. You love to see it. By the break. Big ass flag pull. Then the volume is dying into the flag. Breakout, you get higher volume. Volume starts ramping.
Those are both pretty textbook, honestly.
Yeah, and even that first retest, it looked like a 3-bar in the 10-minute. So you would have been able to enter there too. Like there's plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, look at that. Textbook as well. Massive volume coming out. Low volume pullback.
Kind of those higher lows in that box. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, Arrow, to simplify me just going on, when it's stuff like this, which is the true breakout trading, in my opinion, is where it's ranging for a while and there's a certain level that it just can't seem to get over, is I typically like to buy the initial break if I notice it, or I buy the retest. That's it.
Yeah, and it's so smart to wait for that retest if you do miss the initial break, because you'll almost always get one. And if you're buying like calls, for example, above the retest, and then everyone will get the retest, get in and think it's a good play, and you'll have to sit through a whole bunch of pain or stop out just because you chased the entry. You just wait.
Yeah, it gets tricky because the reason I'll buy the initial break a lot of the time is because sometimes, I mean, SPY was a perfect example on Thursday. right where this box was drawn. Something like it broke out and just never came back. So when I will play this, I play it very tight. So if I'm playing this right and it breaks out, if I buy here, my risk where I sell is if it dips back into the box, strictly because you can get something like this, or it starts breaking out and then it dies and goes to the bottom of the box, or something, right? Or maybe it never breaks this and it just ranges here and then falls on its face and after power hour. But yeah, so if I'm playing looking for the initial break, my stop is that if it dips back into the box. And that also gives you, if it takes off like this, you're in and without a whole lot of risk, because it dips back in the box, you're risking maybe 10 cents. But this candle right here gives you 60, 70 cents. And then also, like I said, you'll never get in if you're looking for a retest. I prefer retests myself because there's less fake outs that can happen. It comes down either it holds it or it doesn't. So it really just depends on your style. Do you want to try and capture the move? Which this might be more because SPX, which is something Ralph and I were talking about. This candle right here will spike SPX premiums through the roof, and then it will take till this candle for it to catch back up. A lot of the time, sometimes it can take a while. So I am changing my strategy and style up a little bit because of SPX. Because originally I liked retest. I
You just
lived
find
by
yourself
retest.
getting in earlier and holding less to capture that.
Yeah, because well, FOMC was a good example actually. Granted, we can't look at the contract price anymore, but on FOMC, right? If anyone was here, this candle shot up and then it died, right? And then it closed like this. That initial push over, which was this level, Monday's pre-market high, when it pushed into here, those contracts went to $30. They didn't reach $30 again till the top of this candle. So I've noticed when it breaks and the candle just goes straight up, that spike in premium on SPX calls is something that will take a long time to get back to if the trend continues. So you might as well take a solid chunk of profit there, if not everything. And then, you can let it play out. But yeah, SPX is definitely something I noticed. You take your money faster and you hold less because there's no reason to hold longer in a lot of situations if you're playing breakouts.
Sign me up, dude.
For Qs and SPY, it depends. I typically still just wait for the breakout myself. Unless if I start noticing this, I might try to buy this trend line tap here. Just because at that point you're safe from fake outs. If it breaks out, you can capture the ramp up right there. But typically, even Qs and SPY, I like retest more. Yes, sir.
I got a question, Trevor, that might actually help some people, including myself. On a either strong uptrend or downtrend days, what are you looking for to join trend and tell yourself, it's not chasing when SPY or Qs are no man's land? How significant of a pullback, I guess the question is, are you looking for you to get in the trade?
I'd be better on a downtrend because uptrends have been doing the same thing a lot lately, where you just get that range. I mean, Granted, this is FOMC, but every single day it will just range and then break out. So,
Yep.
so that's what I look for on uptrends. But if it's a downtrend day, this day is kind of shitty.
I mean, while you look for something, I think there are retests that, because I'm very predominantly a trend join trader, more so than even Trevor. I don't really touch breakouts, but there are tests that will usually work. Like if you get a really strong up or down trend, the first test of the 9 EMA on the 5 or the 10 minute is normally going to bring new buyers into the trend, unless there's like some kind of insanity extension, obviously. Break of horizontals has been working extremely well lately. I know Trevor and I and RG have been talking about that. I would say they're working more so than trend lines actually. Where like, especially if it's pre-market high or low, if you get a retest there, I'm almost always in the past couple of weeks. And those have been my highest probability setups for a while now. And then like the other thing as well is I've noticed, and this is my own personal top preference probably, but similar to kind of what Trevor's saying, on a downtrend, I'm much more comfortable, getting into a trend on an EMA tap quickly, or like if I think it's going to 3-bar strongly, I'll try to buy the middle candle for a good entry. Whereas on uptrends, because it is going to range before it breaks, I really try to focus on getting in at the bottom of the range or early on in the trend, or if not, I'm kind of okay just waiting for that breakout then.
And I think that's to do with the fact that we see more follow through on the downtrend. Typically.
I wouldn't say that's even necessarily true anymore, but
Well,
I
not in
will
the last
say
2
that
weeks, no.
uptrend moves usually have a longer setup period, and especially in the later half of the week, you don't want to just sit in the contracts while you wait for that.
What's up, boys?
Good
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, I just got home. I was driving back, flying.
Damn, this
back.
motherfucker was flying back.
Bro, I ain't missing this shit.
That's funny.
Here's an example, Pnut. If you miss the break of the 200, right, and then I can put some levels on here. There's like, for me at least on SPY, I have nothing down to 385 at this point. We're into new lows, so if I'm looking and say, okay, I think this is bearish, we're going to continue down, because you can see the morning it was all chop and it was holding on the 180 SMA, breaks that, breaks the 200 pretty quickly. I'd be looking. This is actually a trade I took. It was under the 200, came up, tested the 200 right here, and then there's also the 9 EMA. So, like Bobby was saying, to join trend, I'm looking for EMA taps. I do like the first touch of the 9 EMA on the 5 minute
that's money
after
usually.
we break down. Typically, I won't take it like this. I wouldn't. Typically, won't take this. I'll be looking for a 10-minute 9 EMA tap. Because I have noticed once you break down, hit the 9 EMA, break down some more, and you come up, depending on how big the rally is, the 9 EMA is just not going to be super strong. Because as you know, the faster you go down, the EMA starts spreading out because they're different period moving averages. So I don't like when they get super far apart like this. This is where I'll start looking for the 10-minute 9 EMA tab. But the join trend 9 EMA taps on the 5 or the 10-minute, or I'll look for Fibonacci 50%, 61.8%, which you just you'll take from the high of the move to the low if you're looking for it on the bear side, and you can see it holds a 50 very nicely.
And the thing to remember, one thing that's really, really valuable, what Trevor was saying with the EMAs spreading out, as much as I don't want to sound like a fucking GME idiot or any of that stuff, but algos drive price action a really good bit. and you have a higher likelihood of a bounce from algorithmic trading if all of the EMAs are clustered, because there'll be algos that are buying off the 20, off the 9, continuing trend in different blocks. And if they're all trying to buy around the same area, you have a much stronger probability. So looking at the spacing of the EMAs, I know he only just mentioned that briefly, but that's really important. It's definitely good to keep in mind.
Yeah. And it's also, it's like that is a good point. I didn't go that deep into it. For me, it was just an opinion. The farther they are away, that means the stronger the move is, and either it's going straight up or straight down for the most part. That can't last very long, and it's like if you're just launching to the moon, what's the likelihood of a 9 EMA holding you when you come crashing down?
None.
A lot less likely. But if the 9 and the 20 are there, that means that move wasn't, a massive extension away from them. I mean, this is kind of a
I think the
um,
9 EMA is good on the first try, whichever way you're moving. If you rip through it, you wait for the first 9 EMA pullback. It's a great entry.
Yeah, I'm always gonna try to take it.
Yeah, the
yeah,
first try, yeah. The most I've seen it work is twice. Especially on bullish days, like going up. If you look at SPY throughout the bullshit week we had, every time it went up, there was a lot of instances where it tapped the 20 on the 5, which is basically the 9 on the 10. So like the first try, you get a 90 EMA tap, you keep going up, and then
Then look for the 9 on the 10.
and look for the 9. Yeah, after the first try, I'll do the same kind of Trevor does. Look for the 9 on the 10, and
yeah,
if you missed it, it is what it is. But it's just sticking to your rules and having patience in a play, not trying to chase.
yeah.
Really,
And one more
yeah.
thing when it comes to joining trend, I will look at the 10-minute to make sure
It's on tap.
it's like the price structure staying. I don't like looking at the 5-minute for if it's bullish or bearish, because you can have pullbacks like this. On the 10-minute shows a higher low and continues, but on the 5, this is a multiple
It's a huge
leg
move.
down.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lower high in here on the 5 and it continues down, which will start shifting you to, oh, I should be looking for puts and things. But the 10-minute shows you shouldn't.
Yeah.
That dead cat bounce was nuts.
That cat came back to life.
Yeah,
I think Trevor and I were on voice and saying, "Oh, that's a dead cat bounce," and the
Yep.
bitch just ripped.
It just fucking ripped.
Yeah, I love the fibs.
Fibonacci.
When I don't use them religiously, but when you get a move like this where it's breaking EMAs and things, and it starts bouncing, that's when I pull it out,
Mm-hmm.
just so you can get an idea. It's like, oh, maybe this is this move, which on the 10-minute, this is all one move. Like, I mean, it doesn't hold it perfectly, but
But it's hanging around the area.
yeah, it's like it's a zone, right? It's showing you. I mean, the 408.37 and this closed at 408.01, so it's 36 cents away from it. That's a pretty good zone. And then, yeah, I like looking at the 10 for structure because
I think they're voodoo, but I'm glad you get use out of them.
they are kind of voodoo. Because you ever watch a video, someone explain it, it's always these show up everywhere in the world. That's like, dude, shut up.
and that part's true, actually.
It is true.
It is true, but applying them is all kind of voodoo because they don't get respected directly because nothing trades off of them. So I prefer things that get respected directly. Fibonacci's more or less give you an idea if a move is valid, then they show you an entry and an exit.
Yes, because I use them mostly, like I said, when EMAs, it's breaking EMAs, it's kind of in no man's land. I'll look to see, like, is this looking like it could bounce off the 61.8 or the 50?
Right.
Yes, okay, well, I'm going to stay bullish until these fibs break, and it's like a clear break. And it's like, okay, maybe I should be looking to flip.
Mm-hmm. You also have to take into account the daily volume. I've pretty much given up. I see low volume days. I know we're gonna keep going up. Every knife is gonna make a lower high, and we're just gonna keep grinding up.
Final tappers, the fib retracements.
Because
retracing the initial move.
Yeah, I've talked about using fib extensions, and there's a day that I gave an example that if you only used fib extensions and retracements, it showed you perfectly. It pulled back to the 61.8, then it ripped to the extension is 1.618, and then it pulled back to like the 50, then it went. So it's like they work. Some people use them exclusively. I don't. But it's like you can even you can even see this. The extension off this move measured. Look where it topped out. Kind of voodoo, but it works. But yeah, that's how I trend join. Look for EMA taps. Sometimes Fibonacci levels, depending on how everything's lining up. Yeah, exactly, Arrow. Using the first EMA tap, the 9 on the 5-minute typically, right, is because if you see a move like this come out of nowhere, you're going to want to get in pretty quickly. So that first one, I don't want to say it's FOMO buyers because you are waiting for the dip, but it's basically the smart FOMO buyers where it's like, oh, I missed all this. You know, I'm looking for the continuation.
Right. I mean, obviously, keep an eye on the tape. See if it comes crashing down. Don't just have your bid sitting at the 9. See how it reacts to it.
Yeah, I typically will wait for it to interact with the 9 and then close before I make a decision. So I'm typically late. You know, I'm not getting the perfect entry off the 9 EMA.
Yeah, but you're rather
But I'm playing
losing
it safely.
exactly. You rather lose on that. You rather lose on a 10% for trying to be early than get knifed on and get fucked.
Here's the reason. A lot of scalpers, I will do it too. A lot of scalpers will scalp that first 9 EMA touch. So the candle's going to come to it and then it's going to come crashing back about halfway to the candle because that's about where you get that 20-30 cent contract and the commons traders are getting where they feel like they've made enough money, so they start selling, and that's when that candle comes back and ends up closing on that 9 EMA or closer to it, and then you'll get the next touch, and then it'll go off the 9 EMA like on that second push. So if you buy the original tap, you're going to come back and see yourself looking at a flat position when you were just up pretty big, and you're probably going to bitch out if it goes just a tiny bit further against you, which is always likely. Whenever you get another retest, people think it's going to fail. They start bailing out. Your contracts are going to go lower than that initial test did because there was nobody in those contracts when it was going to test that EMA. People got in and now they're panic selling.
Right.
You'll get faked out if you don't wait for the candle close test. Unless you're scalping, and then just take it twice.
Yeah, Pina has a good point. You always hear about getting in on the bid.
I hate seeing
It is smart, right? If
It's the
the
right thing to
spreads
do,
are
but-
insane, getting in on the bid is the right thing to do, and it might be
like,
the
I'm
right thing to
buying
do
Qs.
whatever. But you got to think, spying Qs, you might even see a 3% bid ask spread, but that's 2 cents. And it's like, are you really gonna miss out on a possible dollar move a contract because you're trying to get in on the bid over
Yeah.
2
Basically,
3
you don't want to
cents?
lose dollars over a couple cents on it.
Exactly. Do you really
If you're
care if
confident in
the
the play and you know it's like a big
yeah.
play,
Do you
slap
really
the
care
fucking
if
ass.
do you really care about 3 cents when you're gonna slap the ass and get a dollar
Yeah.
move? No,
Exactly. So it's
no,
like,
I don't give a fuck if I'm getting 90 cents. I'd rather be 10 cents late and get confirmation, wait for candle close, than get
Mhm.
fucked.
Yeah.
Then be
And
early
this
and then you know what happens when you're early? We've all been there. You try to be like, I'm gonna put my bid right here. You get in early, it knives for 20 cents, you sell for a loss, and then it rips for $1.50. And you're like,
yep.
what the fuck?
yeah.
So wait for confirmation. You know it
What
always
the fuck?
happens. You know it always happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Believe
something
that,
else
believe.
to keep in mind is as you progress, if you do decide to venture out from spying cues to maybe Tesla or SPX, uh, look at the bid ask spread over the difference. Because I will tell you from personal experience, I will slap Tesla on the ask on a breakout, and I don't care that someone got in 40 cents lower than me.
Always slap the ass on SPX.
I
Yeah,
think a
I will.
wise
I will
man
do it
once
on
said,
SPX. I don't trust market fill because then you become just the
Jeff,
market maker will
You
mess
just
with you and
give
fill
us
you at
liquidity.
11.
Give us
you
liquidity.
wanna be the Jeff of the day?
Yeah, I don't. So I'm more willing to just buy the ass because I get you in, and it's like,
Mhm.
as long as it's 2-3%, because it's like yes, an SPX contract might be 700, so 3% a lot bigger than it is on a $1.50 contract on SPY. But the point is, you're still looking for the same move. It's just the contracts are more expensive at that point. So
Right.
I would say don't be scared to hit the ask on a breakout.
Mhm.
Um, but don't hit the ask if you're buying a dip. There's no point. Get filled on the
Yeah.
bid.
JT, I'm
Yeah.
confused on your question there. Are you saying like I'll get in on the 5 and play up to 10? Is that what you're asking?
No, on the 5 and play it off the 10-minute, correct.
So typically I do look for entries on the 5.
Mhm.
And then I always keep the 10 up just to have it there to confirm the thesis for the trade.
I
But
mean, you
yeah,
can
entries usually on the 5, but
yeah,
there is times
yeah.
where I get in on the 10.
You just correlate them. So the
Yeah.
20 on the 5 is the 9 on the 10. A lot of times I don't even look at the 10. I just figure the 20 somewhere around where the 9 will be on the 10, and that's
Mhm.
where I'm looking for an edge. If it
I
holds
think you
that
should always have
area,
those two up though. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
to me the 5 is probably what I take most of my entries on, but the 10 is like I've been using the 10 since I started trading options. It's
right.
what I'm most
I
comfortable
have
with.
both up as well. 10's just good for like overall big picture confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
keep
Also,
the 10 up, but I typically trade off the 5.
Exactly.
right, exactly. I trade up the
It's like
5. If I got runners, I normally like if I got runners that extend, like you're up $1.50 a runner, then I normally will use a 9 EMA, a 10-minute EMA as my stop loss.
Yeah,
But
and
just
even
refer back to that chart that Ivan posted when we
yeah,
were
exactly.
talking about that
What
little
was I talking about?
flag on SPY. You go to the 10-minute and it looks like a textbook perfect 3-bar. I mean, there's wicks, but it's still textbook perfect.
believe a wise man once said, you won't get the perfect entry, but you can get a pretty damn good one.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
well,
is
if
why
you
I
have a
like
minute, just give me your trading account. I'll look
this
at
is
the
why I
chart.
like
Fuck.
having both up. Look at how look at this on the 5. You might start getting bearish here, right? Because it hits the 9, comes up, doesn't break into new highs, falls to the 20 on the 5. Look at the 10.
It's a 9 on
Let's
the
let's
10.
get that big volume out of there so you can look at this. It's a beautiful comes down, hits a 9. You can either buy the 9 or you can buy when it starts breaking out.
Mm-hmm.
This is something having both up is something that's kept me from switching bias too fast many times.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
reason for all of this, and just like what Wilmo said, he was struggling on the 1-minute, and Trevor beat it into him to go to the 5. The reason you'll get faked out on the 1 is the reason that we watch the 10, because you can still get faked out on the 5. Large caps have so much follow through. You will enter too early if you're on the 1, and you're going to enter too early some if you're on the 5. If you don't look at the 10, you're entering too early if you're looking for reversal.
You also have to think large caps get moved by big money. Do you think big money's looking at the 1 minute?
Exactly.
Big money probably doesn't even look at anything under the daily.
Shit, under
daily.
the last
Exactly.
2 weeks, I've been using the 30-minute and the 20,
Yeah.
and we've
I
been hitting
think
bangers on the 30. We had a flag and a 30 bar that
the
fucking day.
10-minute has been money because the like Trevor said, the 5 shows a bearish, like, oh, you're gonna start looking for puts. But you see the low volume for the day, and then you see the 10 is still holding the EMAs, you know you're gonna keep going up. It's just a higher low. So
Yeah.
But yeah, JT, 5 and 10. I think that's truly what you need for
5 and 10, yeah. I
spike
mean,
to
I know
up.
a lot of people play the 1 minute. Like you can use the 1 to build a zone, like draw a little box, and if it breaks out, you can buy it. Because I know that's part of like, even a Cute's method. You know how Cute used to play it off the 1 minute, look for entries there. But I'm just not comfortable because I think the 1 fakes you out a lot.
And I will say one thing: if you are on the 1 minute and you're struggling to get off it, jump to the 3 minute. It's what Kahuna mostly
Yeah.
uses, and I use it
You-
too at times if I'm in like a
I
scalper mood.
I use the 3 at open
Yeah,
until
the 3
10:30.
is really
Yeah.
good if you're trying to get off the 1, and it'll help get you to the 5 and the 10. Because it's hard to jump
Once
from
you've
1 to
been
5.
once you've been on the 5 long enough, though, you can read all the price action into the
Right.
inner candle movement that you need. Your brain can figure out what it's doing. You can imagine the 1 minute chart happening on the 5 minute candle. You don't need your brain.
Yeah.
You're watching because what's been happening over and over and over, and we saw it at the inverse this last week where the last 30 seconds of the candle, they're going to slam it the direction the move is going. Like,
You
there
also
is
have
no
to
reason to
see.
watch the 1 minute.
No, but I mean, just watch the tape, I guess. I don't watch the like tape, but I was watching it on Friday. It was all algo driven. Everything said 100, 100, 100, 100. It was bullshit. But like I was telling Trevor on Friday, did see like some bearish things that we're used to. Last 30 seconds of the candle, selling volume was coming in.
Mhm.
And every
Yeah,
knife,
when we moved down off the
yeah,
initial pop. Mhm.
every knife looked like accumulation. Like after that pop and we came back up, every knife was higher volume than the push up, but it wasn't getting like a further leg down. So it looked like somebody was just accumulating a short around this area. We're way up here.
And
Somebody say,
that will remain to be seen how it works out this
right,
next
right.
week.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. I mean, major techs are out of the way. You got some middle techs like Nvidia, AMD type of thing still reporting earnings, but we'll see.
And another thing on the time frames, like Wilmo said, if you do use the 1 minute and you're making money on it, stick to it. Because I mean, like Dev uses the 1 minute,
Mhm.
and you guys see her entries and her percentages per contract. Like she's doing perfectly fine on it. But just find what
I
works with
mean,
you. I think 510 though is if you're learning, learn on those ones.
I think what has been helping me a lot personally is looking at the 1 hour, 4 hour before market opens. Because we have noticed like we'll see like fucking stocks dying right before open. And people are used to just slapping puts at open because they're like, we're going down. And then you get a humongous knife. When we saw it on Friday on AMD, I overnighted puts. Thankfully, I got out right at open, but it just ripped after because the 4 hour was showing a higher low and it was just going to keep going. So just, before market opens, if you play SPY, look at the 4 hour, 1 hour on SPY and see what it's doing. Is it showing a reversal? Is it showing that it's going to go bearish before you come in with a bias? We already know we love being bears because being a bear means you make 200% in fucking 5 minutes compared to being a bull and dragging 3 hours for 20%. But yeah, look at the higher time frames. I do that every single day. I go through
Yeah.
every stock that I play. I look at the 4 hour and the 1 hour just to see what the higher time frames are showing.
I mean, I don't know if anybody was in Captain's swing trading. Like he's looking at the weeklies, like stuff like that. So yeah, higher time frames do help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love looking at the weeklies.
Yeah, the weekly's money. I mean, the weekly's telling me SPY is still a piece of shit, but we'll see.
This is something that IPX just touched on. That we have noticed happening. Once we start getting into what seems to be the top of the rally, is if you look at all the higher volume candles that come in throughout the day, they're always, these shooting star bearish candles where it seems to be people, big money, is selling short. And then they let the algos take it up on this little ass volume, and then they sell short some more, and they're accumulating because you have
It
to
looks like
keep in
accumulation.
mind. Yeah, you have to keep in mind money that, large institutions, they cannot get filled as fast as we can because they're using, massive size. So it'll take them days, weeks. And that's something that's in Anna Colleen's book about VPA is so they will drive it up with algos, and then all these massive candles, in my opinion, is they're accumulating shorts.
If y'all
Uh,
remember the chart from earlier that we've referenced a couple of times now, that fake dead cat bounce, the reason it was a fake dead cat bounce, that previous candle, I don't remember who it was that called it out. I don't know if it was Noah or Trevor. But that previous candle, the entirety of it was basically two orders, two massive sell
I think it was
orders.
this candle.
Yes, yes, that
Um,
candle was
Noah
two
pointed
orders.
it out. It's 500,000 volume, and I think it was 246,000 orders went through within this candle.
Yeah, if anybody's thinking anything, just look at the spike quarterly. It's looking like a perfect 3 bar. And look at the difference in volume from last quarter. 6.2 billion. So far we have 1.4 billion. You got the quarterly, Trevor? Pull it up on Spy so people can see it. Look at this shit. Just a beautiful fucking 3 bar to the downside. And look at the difference in volume so far.
That's why I have the fibs up here.
Exactly. So it's like look at higher time frames, play it day by day. Yeah, if it's showing that, we're going up on low volume calls, make your money. But
Yeah.
I have a big alert at like 416.
Yeah,
I
this is why we've all
would.
been talking about this 415 to 420 area.
Yeah,
We're
I mean
looking for it. We're looking for it because
the
big money's
last
looking for it.
the last high that we made on Spy was 417.44.
Yeah,
That's
and this
where,
is why it's good to zoom out too, right?
and also, that was the top of the range during that week that we were ranging for like 10 days until we died and we started gapping down.
Yeah.
Like
Look at
we
how
were,
bullish the daily looks, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, and it's going. Volume is going up. It's at least average. But then you start zooming out. Just a
look
week.
at the weekly
Whoops.
fade in
Yeah.
volume.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, you can see volume is just nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can zoom out even more. You start looking at the higher time frames. This is on the monthly. It's starting to retest the EMAs after they broke through. This is why I like to look at the higher time frames because it can give you an idea of what's going to happen. It's like if you want to be bears, that's fine, but it's like okay, volume's coming in on these candles that are forming higher lows. The chance of us going down on that is relatively low. So if we start pushing up, I'm going to have the confidence in playing the up move because I don't want it, but it makes sense. It's like okay, the daily showing we hit the EMAs, we're bouncing nicely. So, you can get an idea of the move that's coming.
Right.
And you're never, sitting there
Trying to time the
confused
top.
on, yeah, you're never confused on, oh, why are we going up when we're in a bear market?
Yeah, the biggest mistake you could do is trying to time the top right now. You rather wait for
Good luck.
that daily candle that's gonna show. I mean, for all I know, Spy can hit for what is that fucking thing? The 200 on the daily. Where is it
We're
sitting at?
17 right now, isn't it?
Or 1781,
Yep.
which is, if tomorrow we open red, it's gonna drag that 200 below the previous high of 417.44. So then I'll get interested. Okay, let me see if the next day on Tuesday Spy can hit that. start loading longer term puts. A lot of people were waiting for 410. I think Bart and I took puts, and we caught the initial knife on Thursday and Friday, and we got paid on it, but then we had to get out.
I'm personally looking for like 417-ish,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
420 if they do it. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, but you just wait. I mean, SPY also has. I have a quarterly level. I have a quarterly level on SPY like 420.37 because I just draw lines on every pivot on the quarterly. So it could even push to that 420.37. But I think the 200 is going to be a real test, which I think we might test this week.
I think we're in test. We're only what 2? What's SPY close at on Friday?
It closed at 411.99.
Shit, we can test it tomorrow.
Yeah, and
Probably
currently, currently it's at 410.90.
Yeah,
So
Dev, what is ES?
Trevor, you got to go over anything else, or does anyone have? Because I gotta.
No, I'm just hanging out.
What do you have to go over, Pnut?
Noah, what we talked about today, bro, drafting.
Oh my god, this guy is just so excited.
Not
He's
even
like a little
excited,
kid.
bro.
You're like going to school for the first time.
This is gonna
I
be my
love it.
first time swinging options, and I think DraftKings can do it.
Oh my god, I think you have a little too much fucking confidence in.
Oh, let the man have his play.
Hey, if you don't have 100% confidence in your play, Noah, don't take
Yeah,
it.
dude, conviction, go get it.
Quick confidence play for this week. I want AMD
Alright,
to
bro.
report. I want AMD to report earnings on Friday. I took 100 calls a month out. They're probably gonna pay because they're already paying when we knifed. And I think AMD is gonna go test that 100 and shit the bets in after that.
Ooh, IPX a bowl.
Once it gets to 100, because they're not gonna. I'm pretty sure they're gonna report decent earnings, growth over year. Their last earnings call.
Tips have been in the news fucking every
the
other
la-
day.
I mean, the last.
Pelosi's got them in their pocket.
Yeah, their last quarter was one of the few positive earnings we had. AMD ripped on last earnings. But look at what happened after earnings. So it shit the bet.
I'm like you, boys.
I think it's gonna go retest 100. Look at the 200 on the daily on AMD. It's at 100.99. It'll probably get around that area, and then after that, it would just go fucking free falling without a parachute. Because reality's gonna set in. But this is we have too many earnings, too much shit getting pumped up. But yeah. I mean, you could swing arrow, just swing with time. You don't want to swing 2 weeks out. People that swing shit 2 weeks out are fucking idiots. Swing if you're truly gonna swing something in the money or a few dollars out of the money a month or two out. Then see what happens.
Pnut, I'll join you on your DraftKings swing if we all take to Twitter and pump whatever contract we're in.
If we all do.
Oh my god.
Yes, Wilmo, extensions are a great tool to use when charts are breaking into all-time highs.
We need RCB. He has the biggest account, I think. Tweet it. No, but I might not
Pump
even take
it.
this. I just want to hear
Pnut's got
everyone
the idea. Let me hear it. Let me hear it, Pnut. I want the whole idea, plan, thesis, fucking everything. Let me have it.
The whole thesis for you, Noah. I didn't know I was gonna need one.
What's
Yep.
DraftKings?
The thesis is
what's
NFL season's
DraftKings?
coming.
What's
going up.
Here,
what's
Peanut, I will help you out a little bit here.
Trevor,
Noah.
look, I know you swung before. Just look at the chart. Tell me if you're
Captain's
thinking,
down.
Is it stupid? Is it dumb?
Captain's
I'll even
very
take
down,
comments.
dude.
Captain's here. Let's do it.
Noah, here, I'll help you out a little bit. The
No,
highest volume candle.
I fucking thesis earlier. I just want to know what Pnut thinks.
Oh, the highest volume candle on the weekly since DraftKings IPO'd is accumulation down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one of the higher volumes ends up being a beautiful hammer / doji that formed the low
on January 24th.
And then we started this nice little uptrend here. NFL season.
If you're gonna swing DraftKings, I think look for an entry around 1150, around there.
There are a couple weekly levels, like 1489-ish and 1762-ish are big levels on the weekly to watch out for.
I got 1487 and 1590.
Bro, I have a fucking horizontal at 1487 too.
Yep.
That's funny as shit.
I want to see a pullback to the uptrend. Draw the uptrend on the weekly or even on the
Yeah.
daily from lows. It tapped it twice beautifully. That was a gorgeous entry on the
Just to
weekly.
make this known, we are buying ourselves time on this swing. If we do buy it, we're either going with October or January contracts.
I put
And I
an
want
alert.
everyone to join me on it, so that way if we lose, we all lose together. But if we
You
win,
actually
we all
have
win
to buy
together.
this swing.
Yeah, and then you know, go to Vegas if we win on this swing.
I also don't think of taking like let me take a 15 or a 20 call. I have an alert set at 12. When it gets to 12, I'll look at it. If it holds that trend line, I may take in the money calls. Or like the trend line right now would be around 1150, 1160. I would take $12 calls, like 3 months out.
You can't pump in the money options, IPX. God damn it.
My
Yeah,
bad, bro.
IPX, we gotta go like 100% out of the money.
Nah, I'm not Starboy. I'm not pumping,
No,
zero.
the ones that grabbed my attention were the January 20 calls and the October 15s.
I'm looking at, let's see, January 20. Okay,
They both have a lot of OI on them.
I mean, look at the January $10 calls. You're gonna tell me if it comes to $1.50, you're not taking the $10 calls?
Oh, bro, if those contracts get way down there, hell yeah, I'm taking them. But
Look at the
like, if
volume.
this
They got that.
continues the
Yeah,
uptrend,
yeah. January has the. Let's see, January. Exactly. Look at the $12 calls. Oh, even the $15 calls. They got 10,000. There's a lot of, but also the IV is high as fuck. So
the IV is high as fuck. But the one thing I'm looking at is the high delta compared to the contract and the theta of less than $1 per day because of how far it's out.
right. So you wanna?
But I do agree with that. Wait for a pullback to the uptrend line, or wait for a retest of this break if we actually do keep going.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I have an alert at the 1480, whatever, 87, 88 level. An alert there and an alert on the trend line. And at $12.
Wait, did
There's
we
12
double top on the daily?
uh
1466, 1461. No, it's off by 5 cents.
up by a few cents, but yeah.
Not bad though.
I mean the daily's holding that trend line beautifully, the uptrend. 1, 2, 3 taps. So
And if anyone's wanting to degen this for earnings, next week's contracts are actually pretty cheap compared to this week's because of this week's earnings move being priced in.
I think the earnings are gonna be shit. People don't have spendable money
Oh,
enough.
hell yeah.
The only thing that's gonna get them going is gonna be the usual bullshit pump, NFL season, promotions, this and that.
Yeah, if they get any type of like significant partnership, that's going to be the only good thing that comes out of the earnings.
Exactly. So I personally wouldn't swing it. If I swing it, I throw $100 in it, and that's about it.
Oh yeah, it's not going to be any significant size, especially for DraftKings. If it was like Amazon or some shit like that, that'd be different.
Exactly. So the one I am looking at, that somebody posted on Twitter was AV. Avi.
Huh?
Yeah. Look at the way it held the 200.
You said AV is the ticker?
ABBV.
Oh,
I used to swing them.
yeah, that's a healthcare company. I got you.
Yeah, they're cucks.
What was it Ariel?
They're earning. Yeah. I started following him, and I mean, that's plays large caps, and I like his style. He waits for the pullbacks and type of shit.
Is it Abbott? Who is it?
It's a Avi, yeah. So it's
ABBV.
ABBV. Yeah.
Ow! Fuck, I just hit my knee on my desk. Yeah, he called out
it held the
solar
200.
weeks
Yeah,
back.
it held the 200. So on the daily, I'll keep an eye on it. I have an alert set at 140. I want to see what it does there. So, but if you guys if it comes down to swinging, yeah, just I will wait for like double bottoms on the daily or things like that, or holding up the uptrend.
JT, I like to stay underneath 70 or 80% IV. If it's usually above 100, I usually won't touch it. just because the contract's going to be overpriced. The main thing I think I'm interested in DraftKings is because we've been consolidating in this weekly range for about 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, let's say we're looking at a 5-minute chart on this. We've been downtrending, so extended. We've been consolidating down here. What do we think is going to happen? I think reverse is going to happen.
I also have an alert on Twitter because Twitter is like borderline about to hit that
Ooh,
gap on the daily.
no shit.
I did a bunch of shit yesterday. Look at the daily on Twitter. If it clears 42 flat, it has a gap on the daily to 43.33, and it'll come up to the 200, which I think will be a beautiful place to short it. It's a
Ooh.
piece of shit.
It's breaking a horizontal line at 4104.
I really
Mhm.
still like Tesla's daily chart. I've liked it since it was under the 200, and it's continuing with strength. If it gets over 915, it's gonna go to 960, and then potentially 1,000.
Another one that I'm thinking of taking puts on it will be ZOM. If it's
Oh,
able to
that's a
fill,
good one. Yeah.
if
They
it's able
report
to
last
fill,
week.
yeah, they did, and they fucking blew up because of the fact that they report record earnings. They didn't give up any fucking future guidance as much. They were very bleak about it because they know that gas is going down, type of shit. But
I just want you to know that
I want Zom to
everybody but Bobby.
I want
Go ahead,
Zom
I'll let you
to
Do that daily on Zom.
I want Zom to fill that gap on the daily from 98.67 to 99.79, and 99.78 is that breakout level when Zom broke out about a month ago or 2 months ago. I want Zom. I have an alert at 99.78. When Zom gets there, I want to see what it does. I will swing puts if it acts like a piece of shit. I know
Oxy is
Kahuna.
reporting earnings this week. I know they tend to
Yeah,
run together.
so that's what I want. I want Oxy to push it up to like the 100 area and then swing. And Zom got cheap. Their contracts are cheap.
Oh, yeah.
And also, don't get discouraged by seeing a contract being $300 because you're on a small account. Like Trevor can attest, you may swing 3 to 4 contracts at like $1,200, and those things can make you 7-8 grand. Last time I saw an AMD, I think I had $2,100. If I wasn't a paper-handed bitch, I could have made 27 grand on it. So yeah,
Yeah, swinging is a completely different style. You can be confident in putting more
yeah,
of your account into play because your time horizon to be right is a lot longer.
a lot
And you're
longer. Yeah,
looking for a bigger move.
don't lotto your account into, hey, Zom hit 100. Let me swing, 100 puts expiring on Friday because you're gonna get fucked. Even if that thing goes to $90, you're not gonna get that move that you will get with 100 puts out 3 months. That means
Mhm.
you can also take profit. You got 3 contracts and that shit dies $10. You could take one off for like profit that will cover your entire 3 contracts, and you have 2-3 months to let the rest ride out. So, and Zom also made a gap on the daily on earnings. 93.18 was a big area. I talked to Kahuna about it. It double top, and then their earnings got them to break through. So keep an eye on
Just
that.
what I was gonna say is just everybody remember that Bobby is the only one that's bullish over 415 area, and all of these plays are bullish plays. Zom puts are a bullish market play. DKNG, Netflix, Twitter going up. They can work, but they are bullish plays.
All right.
So if you see we do start rejecting at 416, 417, don't be looking for these bullish swings to work out as easily.
Another thing I've noticed, because I played it last week quietly, we had Walmart report their bullshit, bad news. At the beginning of the week, it dropped to 120. On Monday, I slapped 125 calls. They were dirt cheap, like 30 cents. I sold them on Thursday and I think they were like in the $2-3 range. Any bad news, it just seems like an opportunity for people to buy cheaper. We've seen it on Tesla, we've seen it on Walmart, we've seen it on a bunch of other tickers. Oh, we saw it on Facebook a while back when Facebook reported some bad shit and it knifed and then it fucking blew for like 30 points in a week. So keep an eye on the bad news. I don't mind throwing a lotto in there, throwing a few $100 and they can become a few thousands in a week.
Good thing about swinging is we're not buying contracts that are expiring today or at the end of this week. Those contracts are still going to move the same as the contracts expiring soon, but they're not going to decrease. Like, those pullbacks, your contract's not going to go down 20%.
Right.
Those longer out contracts might go down like 2-3%, shit like that.
Noah,
What's up?
when does Google report?
Oh my god. I wish I could drive to you so much quicker than what it takes me. So if what I'm not really bullish or bearish on the market. I do see some setups that I like, but if what RG is talking about happens, you look for those weak tickers that haven't really been bullish. Meta is still at lows. It hasn't really broke out. PayPal still at lows. Upstart hasn't really ran with the mid caps like all the other ones. You just got to keep an eye on those weak tickers and kind of have them categorized. Solar.
Who was that fucking moron who was like telling the whole world to buy Upstart and didn't know what it does?
Mark Minervi.
Yes, thank you.
Minervini.
God, that's my favorite clip of all time.
On like tickers that get bad news, especially to start the week, I will take weeklies. I'm gonna show you a screenshot of the ones that I took.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. But like, I'm saying, like with us doing these plays that like Peanut's talking about DraftKings for like the first week of September, us buying time out. That's what we're really talking about for the people that haven't really swung before.
I would buy time, yeah. So
there's a lot of people in here with small accounts, and I just want to kind of beat that into your head. You don't really need to swing if you have a small account.
So look at this. These were the Walmart's 125s. We had the bad news. I got filled on Monday around like 35 cents. They closed at like 7.15. I saw them on Thursday, paper handing again at like $4. But if you took 5, which is what I did, 35 times 5 is $165, whatever it is. Those 5 contracts at $4 is $2,000.
Damn, you did that math quick.
Boy's a genius. What do you expect?
I got a calculator in his brain, bro.
But yeah, I've just noticed that a lot.
Easily impressed.
I've just exactly RG. I've just noticed that a lot. No, I bought Fridays. On Tuesdays, I bought Fridays expiration because it was $165 lotto.
Damn, IPX roasted Pnut without even breaking the sentence. Just kept going. Fucking Jesus. Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Peanut's an intern at a venture capital fund. And he's impressed by quick math. I'm fucking dying over that.
That's the last time I hype up the homies. Fuck you guys.
And get him.
Yeah, Tesla looks bullish, Bobby. I just
Dude,
pulled up
it's
the
gonna
Tesla.
go fucking nuts if it breaks 915.
I'm looking at 950.
Yeah. Well, I think it's gotta get. That's my second level. I think if it breaks 915, 950, 1,000.
I got a weekly level at 900.4. Tesla. It just, I mean,
I wonder why.
I also think of the thing that I think Zen talked about before. Once it's over at 900, like it's
and people
like
start just sniffing 1,000.
Yeah, it's just a magnet to 1,000 exactly.
I'm gonna be, especially if the market. I would actually love if we open red Monday. I think later in the week Tesla calls if it puts in a higher low.
Futures are red right now, so I mean
we'll
not
see.
by much. Yeah, that's a big no, Wilmo. I mean, most of us take what 3 trades a day, 5 if it's like a banger and we're just bullshitting throughout the day. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Tesla looks. It's over everything on the daily. It actually wicked down to the 200 on Thursday, and it came right back up. What's driving Tesla up?
I think it started from they had really good production numbers and they had strong earnings. Then the cult thought that Elon wasn't going to spend money on Twitter anymore, and that like hyped it, and it's just been rolling. I mean, they had the bad production news when it was at like I think going for the 800 break, if I remember, and that clearly didn't do a fucking thing.
I mean,
Could also be
Tesla.
that it's down 50% from highs, so maybe
That's
people are
what.
just like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
it's cheap."
Also, I mean,
Fuck a PE
I,
ratio.
Tesla would be
Well, I mean,
nice.
that's the story of Tesla since its inception. Fuck a PE ratio.
Oh shit!
I
IPX is looking
mean,
for a short.
I am. I'm looking at 950. I just had an alert. Tesla 950 still a lower high, and it's a piece of shit. Oh, those will be glorious. I mean,
That's the thing. We're all looking at the same exact levels. I mean, I'm looking
look at
for the break of
the
it. IPX looking for the short, but we're not. Neither of us are just gonna slam on the level. You're looking at the interaction to see how things go there.
fake news, Deb. Tech is not rolling. They're just pumping it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just caught my eye looking at the daily on Tesla. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. It can suck a dick. Go to 950. I short the shit out of it. But it
So
might get
vulgar.
it is what it is. But yeah, that what Trevor said makes sense. It's 50% from highs. It just makes sense. People buying it down here. Don't they have a split soon as well? Did their split get approved?
Fake news. What are you talking about?
No, on Tesla.
Yeah, that was talked about.
Yeah, did it go through? I think it was like a 3-1 split or something like that, or 5-1.
Wasn't it conditional? Wasn't like the board was considering it if it hit something, or is that a different ticker I'm thinking about?
It better be back to 1800 before you split again.
Yeah, at least 1,000. And also, I know we're coming up here.
Options volume might drop off if it's lower. I'll bet you
That would make me
Amazon's
so
option
sad,
volume
dude.
down.
I do have to bounce here, guys, but have a great night, everyone. Get some good sleep. We'll kill it tomorrow. Love you all.
Later, Bobby.
Later, Bobby. Actually, Amazon's options volume might be up, but I'll bet you the amount of money that flows through it is down.
Another ticker to look at Microsoft. It's kind of breaking the downtrend on the daily. It's like it closed above the 200. So I know Trevor played Microsoft on Friday, I believe. He shorted it.
Yeah. Actually, I can show that real quick.
Yeah, what do you think of it? I mean, it just seems like to me, it seems like it's breaking the downtrend.
That was on Thursday, wasn't it?
Thursday or I think it was Friday or Thursday. I don't remember. It was a bear flag that you caught.
I don't see it.
Mm.
Apparently, it wasn't that good of a bear flag if I can't even find it right now.
No, you got slurped pretty hard on it, if I remember correctly.
Just look at the daily. What do you think of the daily on it?
Is it on the 5? Let me go look at the daily.
I'm gonna bounce. Y'all be good.
Peace.
Take it easy, RG. Have a good night.
I do like the fact that we're seeing higher volume on the low candles.
Yeah.
Inverted hammer. Fuck this candle. Inverted hammer at the lows. This comes in, hammer. This candle holds.
I have it as closing above the 200 on the daily.
It broke the downtrend. That's nice.
Yeah, that's what yeah. I mean, take the downtrend from the highs of December 29th, and it broke it.
Shit. Yeah, the daily
No,
on.
no, not that one. The one,
Well, I was just seeing. I'm like, fuck that one. This one has 1, 2, 3 taps, so a nice alert on this.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Putting an alert for Facebook. It's got a flat bottom for me. Meta, whatever. Yeah, you can set alerts on Weeble. The fuck?
On the 10-minute.
Right click the chart. Create alert. Trevor, I'm almost positive you got slurped.
I think you did because you were like, "Oh, my runners got." So
They did, but
you made money on it. So.
I don't even see the flag though. Is what I'm having issues with.
Yeah, you look at it on Friday at 11 a.m. my time, on the 5. Friday 11 a.m. on the 5.
Yeah, it'll be 7 for you.
Oh shit! It was a 5-minute. I'm stupid.
Mhm.
I'm looking at it on the 10. I thought it was a 10-minute pattern.
I see you got slurp. Yeah, and then the next candle killed it.
Yeah. For anyone that's looking at my screen right now, this is an A+ to me. Got the downtrend, volume, nice high volume in these candles. It falls off, and then I bought the break. Obviously, this candle closed like dog shit, but volume's falling off. This is forming a nice little uptrend. So you could either play trying to buy this trend line up here, risking that trend line, or you buy the break, risking this trend line. I like to buy the break. Just a preference.
And it was a fake out. Because a fake out bears just to die on the next candle.
Yeah. I almost pulled a Pnut and was buying the bottom. It was close. But Pnut would be buying right here. Look at how bearish this looks. Get got.
What do you think of MU for a swing? Sympathy to AMD.
Holy shit. MU looks like dog shit. Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
I like this.
I'm thinking of a pullback to the 60 area, 59.50.
One sec. I'd like it to see. I like to see it hold the zone. Either hold the zone I look to dip by, or break this downtrend line. What is earnings for AMD?
Tuesday. I want that tomorrow. I want AMD to give me a pullback. AMD on Friday filled the gap on the daily. So now it just has, I mean, it got a couple daily levels up here, 97, 98, 99.51, but or daily and weekly levels, but I just think it would get to 100 on earnings.
I will be watching the 63.35 flow if it ends up actually rejecting.
On MU, right?
Yeah. 63.40. That's a 50% fib for a dead cat bounce. Let's see what the volume is on the weekly. Yeah, it's falling off in the uptrend.
Yeah.
We'll see. I like MU. Give me the best
Mhm.
inside bar play I've ever had in my life.
No, really.
Yeah, they I didn't get the entire move, but they went for 2,000%.
Sheesh. Their contracts are cheap.
Yeah. I'm a fan of them.
Mm-hmm. What about Oxy? They report earnings on Tuesday, I believe. Or is it 8/1? Oh, tomorrow after market closes.
Petroleum?
Mm-hmm. I think Oxy's gonna be the same wave as which we call as Zom. They might go retest the high 74.04 and shit the bet after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean,
I also
Zom.
see it rejecting around 69 off the weekly.
Yeah, I see that level. 69.20 area.
Oh, we shall see. I'm not a big ER person, so I don't know. I will say I'm a little upset I missed the aftermath of Netflix because I did have that and I just forgot about it.
Yeah. Nvidia can also be interesting with AMD reporting earnings. Nvidia's coming up to got a level 187.50 on Nvidia. They're like one of the number one sympathies to AMD. And they have their earnings later in the month on August 24th. The one I wanted to talk to you about, it's Roblox. Look at Roblox on the daily, how it bounces off the 20 every time. Mm-hmm. See? Mm-hmm. Gotta bounce initial. Once it broke the 20, EMA's flipped on the daily. Then you got 623, June 23rd, kind of rip up. Came back down on 630, bounce off the 20. On 713, bounce off the 20. Then you got this little tweezer bottom look on July 25th and 26th. And now we're going up. Think it's time we're gonna clear that 4450 area on the daily. And then get into like see what it's gonna do there. Because it can see 50. I can honestly see it going to 50. At 50 is gonna have a struggle. Look at all those wicks on the daily. Past 50.
Yeah, 50 looks like it's gonna be an issue for sure. I think it
Yeah.
break that though.
Yeah. Oh man, look at that gap on the daily though. All the way to like 65.
Oh, I know.
Mhm.
I would love to see gap fill.
Mhm. Don't know if it'll break the 200 on the daily, but
Yeah, because well, 46 might even be a tough spot because that's where it was almost ranging out for a while, and that's where it finally. Then it broke down and retested it and failed.
Yeah, like 46, 76 area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. But I mean, look at the daily volume candles. Like the two highest volume candles were on that knife hammer looking that caused the lows, and then it caused the lows of the daily, and then the next candle was wick down, looked like shit, but then the following candle was high volume too. Um, I mean, Roblox at 20 just seemed like an easy buy.
Yeah, Bart, I'm thinking the same thing. I like that IPX showed me this.
Yeah,
Might look for a dip to like 40.
I'm looking for a dip to the 20 MA. I'm gonna keep looking at it every single day, and wherever the 20 is during that day on the daily, I'll set an alert around that area, like a 39.20 dip, 40 area dip. I'm thinking it might be decent for a swing, and basically your cut is the 20 MA because it's been holding it for the past what, 3 weeks, a month? Yeah, actually, it's been holding it for a month and a half. Yeah, I like that part.
Nothing else going on, is there? When it comes
Mm,
to, I don't know. I pay attention to 4 things.
Another thing I'm looking at is VIX. VIX broke the uptrend on the daily on Friday. I looked at a lot of shit yesterday, sorry, but you can tell. Look at the uptrend on the daily on VIX. It broke it, but I do see a solid um support area at around 1850 on VIX.
Well, it barely broke it.
Yeah, we barely broke it, yeah. But it did break it. So
Yes.
I have an alert set at 20 on VIX because I'm thinking of swinging calls on VIX.
Yeah, VIX does not have a good time being below 20 for a very long time.
Exactly. Look at the daily. Every time it gets below 20, it goes to like 18. If we could get a nice 18, that would be beautiful. Better entry.
Yeah, I mean, shit, if we go to 15, I might as well
Full
full
port.
port call it.
Yeah. Full port calls,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think throughout history, I think the lowest it's ever been is 8.
I haven't even seen
Yeah,
that shit.
856.
Yeah. I just think we're getting primed for a new leg down with all this pumping and bullshit. But, I wouldn't try to find the top, but I just feel like VIX is a hedge.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, time out. This is 2008. What the fuck
Uh,
happened in 87 where VIX went to 172?
wasn't there a crash in '86?
I don't know, but even 2008, it went to 90.
Mm-hmm.
172? That shit should have put everything at 0.
Yeah, that's when all the boomers bought QQQ and SPY at $3.
All I know is when VIX gets to 8ish, it just seems like the thing to buy leaps on and walk away.
I don't see VIX getting to 8. My personal opinion.
Oh, it will at one point. Just win.
Look at look at the quarterly. Every time it gets to 10, it's just like a fucking repellent. It has to bounce.
Is that 87? Oh my god. Could you imagine being in swinging short and then that happens?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so that's another thing I'm looking at on VIX. I have an alert set around $20. See what it does around that area and swing it, expecting it to go retest 30. Because when VIX gets going, I mean, when we die, we don't die this bullshit that we've been stuck in dollar range every day. We die 5, 10 points a day, a week straight. Bart mentioned the last time. The last time we made a lower high, we died what 50 points in 7 days.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
VIX is under the 200 on the weekly.
Mm-hmm. I'll be right back. I gotta get a refill.
Does anyone have any questions?
I think they just like hearing you talk, Trev. Oh, good question, Ariel. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking water right now.
Fuck yeah, dude. Cheers.
Staying hydrated, you know?
My guy.
What's for dinner? I don't know, dude. Something.
I smoked some ribs today, bro. Shit was amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like the 200 on the weekly the most. I play it off everything, but that's the one I give the most weight to.
That's
I
where
think,
VIX is right now,
I think
Trevor.
the daily and the weekly for the 200.
Yeah, VIX is a piece of shit. It's just meant to go down.
Mhm. I love how VIX has majority of red candles, but the green candles are fucking massive boners.
Yeah, I know. It's the opposite, right? You have years of downtrend and then COVID happens and it's like 3 green candles send you to new highs.
Mhm. Let's see. Baba.
Sunlit, you crack me up.
Um,
2 flat bottom breaks.
Baba is under everything on the weekly.
You're funny.
Didn't
I
they
saw
just get
Sunlit.
didn't
Oh,
Baba
look
get
at that
banned?
retest.
RCB asked you to post all the stuff in that channel, and now you now you do it. It's just funny.
That retest would have made you $1 million.
Hey, it's a good habit to make, man. Seriously. Annotating charts, all that shit. Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful. I swore off Baba when I got burnt by it.
Thanks
Mhm.
so spready most of the time, man.
I think Kahuna had the money thought about a few weeks ago, at the beginning of the month.
Mm-hmm. Dude said
When
puts off the 200.
puts off the 200. Look at that. If you would have taken 125 puts in the money, you could have walked away. You could have full poured and walked away for a solid year. Didn't they get bad news too?
Yeah.
Now it says news of as of now they're pursuing primary listing in Hong Kong. And it was just added on Friday to the Chinese companies facing delisting. I wouldn't mind taking a little lotto. Let's go check it out.
Wasn't there issues that it's like they're not sharing their books and then China's already been on the companies out of China have been getting cracked down because
They don't show their books.
uh well a lot of them are just ways to suck money out of the US economy
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
just
that's
they're
very good.
fake companies.
What do you think of 75 puts September 22nd, September 16th? That'd be a nice birthday present. 255. Buy a few, like $4,000 lotto. Oh, it's free falling. There's nothing here. I mean, besides 83, there's nothing there. And when this thing, look at the volume that came in on Friday compared to they haven't had this much volume since June 16th on another death candle.
What the fuck? I mean, the biggest volume ever came on the last two. Look at those candles.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking at, the quarterly or something?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me switch. What a piece of shit. Look at that wick.
Wow. I'm actually gonna set an alert for the low of the
73.59.
73.28.
28, yeah, 28.
I wanna keep an eye on that because I'm expecting that not to break actually, and this might be a double bottom.
You really think it's still gonna stay afloat, even though they're facing the listing?
Maybe. I mean, Alibaba. It's not like they're a fake company.
Yeah, I gotta admit, it's not like one of those Bitcoin miners that are getting delisted.
Right.
Like, they sell cheap shit, but it is still a company. It's
They
actually out
sell
there.
nice things. You know, tell you what,
Nice things. What the
there's a
fuck?
lot. Alibaba. It's not Wish. There's a lot of
Oh wait, my
like
bad. I got
LG
confused.
and Asus and things like companies like that that
I'm
will
not-
actually buy products off Alibaba and brand them.
Another one is Disney. What do you think of Disney getting to 110.75?
Oh, bro, I used to love Disney.
Okay, I'm looking at the daily.
Oh my god, look at the monthly. What a beauty. You can give that a kiss. I don't know. I might just buy calls and hold on for dear life at that point. Look at that.
Daily EMAs already have flipped.
Yeah, I mean, they can ride to 127.
Yeah.
I like that. Triple bottom
Yeah, the triple bottom look
range.
around 129.
Yeah, which was
I mean,
oh my
127.80.
god, this is actually a big level on Disney for
Mhm.
whatever reason.
Mhm.
It was resistance at one point, support multiple times.
I think you can see 110 soon. And they have their earnings on August 10th. So 2 weeks, not this Wednesday, the next Wednesday.
I'll definitely have to keep my eye on it.
Yeah, I put an alert on 110.75. One second. Got IWM2. If it could clear 191, it could probably go test 195 to 200 on the daily. The one I'm interested, it's on Meta. Has this triple bottom look on the daily around 155 area. I mean, it's just has fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, I have an alert set for that. I have it in a range it tried to break out and failed miserably.
Yeah.
So I have it. If it breaks 159.10,
Mm-hmm.
or not 159.10, that's what it is. If it breaks 172.58. All right. Yeah, or 154.25, it breaks down. God, I'd love for it to fall on its face and continue down.
Yeah, I have an alert at the low.
Let's go have it touch 39.82. 200 on the yearly.
Those September contracts really aren't priced that bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit, even August. Still 3 weeks out. Those thetas are pretty high. Never mind. Yeah, Meta's a big watch with how weak it is. I posted the chart for Pen.
Mm-hmm.
It's been consolidating on the weekly for about 2 months down here.
Yeah. Another one to keep an eye on. Let's see. Is
a lot of names popping on the radar.
Netflix. I have an alert set at the top of the gap. It's not too far from it. It really isn't.
I have an alert up there too.
Yeah, and it has been riding the 9 EMA on the daily. Pullback, bounce. Pullback, bounce.
Yeah, I'm looking for a range retest. That all I will buy on Netflix. But I do like the massive volume that came out of it.
Did you see that? Yeah, on 719 and 720.
Yeah, to break out, I like that. And volume, just fell on its face.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it to come down and retest that 207 level.
The 20 on the daily.
Yeah, it's about where it'll be, but that's where I have the range it was in. I want a true test of the range if I'm going to swing this.
Mm-hmm.
Just for what it's worth, that day that the volume popped in is the day that analyst price targets were upgraded. I got Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse upgrading on that day.
Credit what?
Credit Suisse.
Bro, oh my god.
Wait, how the fuck you say it?
I always read it as Credit Susie.
Susie.
Wow.
What the fuck?
I never paid attention to what it says, so I'm just like, fuck it, Credit Susie it is.
Oregon's education at best.
This guy.
Let me go look it up, because
God, this is the Susie.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
It's close enough.
No.
No, it's not.
Not really, man.
Hold on, let me see what other tickets I got here. Amazon.
There's one extra S in it. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Amazon.
Swiss.
What do you think of Amazon? It kind of got closer to 200, and they just like, I don't like it, and they reject it.
Amazon?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Look at the big ass gap. Look at the big ass gap it
Big
created.
fucking candle. Yo.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was short the fuck out of it.
That's what I want. I put an alert around 138.50. Although it is in a gap, and the gap runs all the way up to 140.30. See that gap on the daily? From their last earnings when they shit the bed.
What's more important, the gap or the 200?
Honestly,
We shall see.
Honestly, the 200, but
I think so. 150 million? That shit's above damn near everything.
Mm-hmm.
Couple crazy candles.
I mean, I could think, if anything, I wanted to come retest the bottom of that gap. I have an alert in there as well. 130.76. Like where the gap starts. See if it comes to retest it before it goes to try it again.
I like that. I also like the fact that this quarter's put in absolutely no volume.
Well, everything has put no volume this quarter. Look at SPY. Look at QQ.
5.4 billion compared to the now 1.3.
Same thing
Three-
on everything.
Rebar to death.
I wish that stock that blew up, HKD or whatever on Friday, had options. I would,
Oh my god, man.
would swing leaps. I don't care if it's 1,000 IV.
I took Amazon off the chart for
12
the
to
past couple days just
400?
to watch that. Dude, it was so many halts. It was insane. One of the
Oh,
guys from the
started
trading pool,
okay.
he took it from like, I think he had it at 250 a share and took it off at like 370 or something.
That's
What
a
is
counter
this?
swing.
It was who the fuck was it? It was Liquid Hedge.
The real GME.
I can't even remember what it was. It's just a brand new IPO, and they had some news related to. Is related to something.
I would short it, brother. No way this thing is worth this much.
Mm-hmm. Nah, it's not.
IPO price was 7.
Mm-hmm. You know, every pumper was saying, "I told you to buy it at 15." Get out of here.
Wild. I'm gonna sign off here. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night and get some rest tonight.
Yeah, I'm about to get out of here. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
We'll see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good
Anyone
night.
else have any questions? I'm about to head out as well. Peace, IPX.
Later, bro.
Oh my god, it's biotech. All right, guys. I'll see you Monday, or I guess shit, tomorrow. Peace out.